Hello there. Hi. All right, so I'm laying down on my couch. Got my little back bracy thing. I guess I need to sit up. All right. So, a couple of weeks ago, there was a podcast of Joe Rogan podcast, and Terrance Howard was on it. Um, I did watch or listen to it once. I still need to listen to it again, I think. But one of the things that was kind of throwing me for a loop, but then at the same time, the way he was explaining it was kind of like, oh, was the concept of one times one equals two. One, not one plus, one times. So one times one equals two. So he believes or theorizes that one times one equals two. Now, I can kind of see where he might be going with this, but I'm still kind of struggling. I'm struggling on this because I'm a teacher and I also teach kids math, and I can also see as a teacher where he might be coming from with this. So that's kind of where I'm going with this. I don't know if I agree with him, but I can kind of see where he might be understanding this or thinking of this in this way. All right, so the fact that I feel like it's wording. So that's kind of where it really boils down to. I feel like it's wording. So in first, let's go through what we already understand about math in multiplication. Multiplication is repeated addition. Okay, so I'm trying to look for something. You know, I don't really want to use my. I have a board, but I don't want to use it. All right, so let's say my bracelet. Okay, we'll take this off. So I have a single bracelet, a copper bracelet. One is one of them. And if we were to multiply this copper bracelet by a copper bracelet, so now I'm already proving Terrance's point. Okay, what is it called? It's not the associative property, but basically, what is said is one times itself is its answer. So 1 times 1 is 1 by that theory, right? Oh, let me see who's there. Well, hello. Hi. So 1 times itself is 1. So 1 copper bracelet times itself is 1. However, the way that Terrance is explaining it, this is where I would kind of be like, oh, I see where you're going with this. So the way he's explaining it is 1 times another 1 is 2. So I can kind of see where he's going with this. And again, well, interesting. I'm talking about math. If math is sexy to you, then yes, I'm talking about math. So 1 multiplied by another one thing is 2. But so this is what I think he's saying, because he mentioned economy in the economy, and how the 1 times 1 equals 1 does not make sense. That's where, when he started saying that, I was like, ooh, now I see where you're coming from with that. So again, let me look and see. Oh, yeah. So I don't know what's going on there, but I'm trying to explain there's a new theory, or a lot of people are just like, no, it's not. There's a lot of controversy in I guess some mathematical circles out there. I don't know. Am I a teacher? Yes. I'm a teacher of mundane things and spiritual things as well, because we're also going to talk about the Kybalion right after I do this. So, I teach, yes, I am a teacher. So, I teach basic things and I teach spiritual things, for which, like I said, I'm going to cover. All right. So, this is what Terrance is coming from. So, if the fact that you're naming a thing means it's there. For example, when I'm teaching my little kids, like the 7 and 8 year olds, math, we talk about units. We talk about uh, the labeling of the thing, right? So if I had in again my one bracelet, the fact that you're saying bracelet is the one. That's where he's coming from with this. Not zero bracelets. He's saying there's another bracelet. It's like one bracelet times another bracelet is two bracelets. So I would say numbers in abstraction without a unit, yeah, that makes sense. But the way that he's also trying to explain it also makes sense, right? So one bracelet times another bracelet is two bracelets. Now, when we just do numbers by themselves and they don't have units, that makes sense too. One times, and this is what people just imply, itself, multiplying by itself, not one. But again, back to Terrance, he is saying one. Okay. No, there was a paper that Terrance Howard, that most people know him as an actor, but he's actually really brilliant. Like he retired, I heard, and he's like, there's a lot of controversy going on right now in the academic worlds, um and spiritual world too, for which that's why I'm putting him into this, where he's trying to explain mathematical concepts that they might not be what we think they are. So that's what he's doing. Okay, I'll say it again. All right, so what we understand in math, one times one, or one times itself, equals one. That's what we normally know in math. Not one plus one, because that's, but a lot of people don't remember or recall that multiplication is repeated addition. It is repeated addition. So we can't, unless we do the zero. But even that, oh my gosh, I'm starting to confuse myself a little bit. But even that, it doesn't make sense. I think what Terrance is saying is the fact that we have labeled a thing, not the numbers themselves. One, okay, back to the bracelet. One bracelet times another one bracelet is two bracelets. Okay? Now, normally in basic math, in basic multiplication, one times itself. One bracelet seen only one time is one. Yes. But he is labeling things when it comes to economy. $1 times another $1. How much money is that? Okay, and let me look at that. Oh, well, thank you. Um, so yeah, so whatever denomination of money that you had only one of times itself, Is it really just one? That's what he's saying. Exactly. Two. It's two. The fact that you have quantified, you've labeled a quantity makes it make sense. I hope that cleared it up. So yeah, so if you were just writing it on paper, yeah, 1 times 1 is 1. But he labeled it a thing. And the moment that you go into a bank and you say, all right, so I here's my $1, and you said you're going to multiply it by 1. Where's the other dollar? Where's my money? Right? So he's on to something with that. That's what I have to say. He is on to something with that. Yeah, exactly. That's what Terrance Howard is saying. So if you're on the he does have a website. I need to look that up. But on paper, yeah, if you're just doing basic multiplication, yeah, 1 times 1 is 1. But the moment you start putting things together, okay, let me do another example. So when you start seeing it, then it's like, what? He's making sense. All right, so we've got 1 pen times another 1 pen is 2 pens. Two of them. Okay? That's what he's saying. He's like, So yeah, so once you start talking about things, money especially, because he did mention that, that's where people need to start paying attention. Like I think we've been a little, I don't know. All right, so there's that discussion. Hopefully, I got some folks interested in looking that up later. I do have another 2 videos about it, about the podcast interview itself. I was pleasantly surprised, quite honestly. I was like surprised but not surprised, because a lot of us creative people, we're actually really smart. Most of us, not some of us, most of us. And people just think that we're smart in only one way. And that's the thing that bugs me, about being creative. Yeah. Well, thanks for the study. No, I am in my living room, which I have made. Okay, so let me tell you. So yes, I'm a teacher. I the uh, when the shutdowns happened, we all had to go home, even school teachers. And so what I ended up doing was decorating a part of my living room to be like inviting to children, basically. So it was in my other office, but it was kind of dull, and I was having to bring a bunch of stuff in there near my other computer. But I set up some stuff and had my laptop. Right now is with a phone, but yeah, so I left it up because I like it. And yeah, it is a classroom. It is very meditative. I have my little pillow here for which I do my manifestation naps on, and I strongly, work meditating. So yes, and it's the classroom. I like to call it the classroom. So I have a couple of books that have inspired me over the years. Might switch them out with some more books that have inspired me. But yeah. So yes. Um did I do my meditations today though? Yeah, I did. I did. That's the reason why I'm coming on live. Like I've already did a couple of video recordings today. Check some emails from work. Um, I live in Atlanta right now. We're having a boil water advisory. I'm laughing because like I'm totally fine because I also grew up on a farm, so I'm okay. Um, yeah, I'm doing a okay. All right, so now let's talk about the Kybalion here. So this is my copy of the Kybalion. I cover it because if I'm out in the world, like when I first bought it, of course I was super excited. I was like, yes. But I hate when I'm reading and people come up to you and they start saying, "Oh, what are you reading?" And then they want you to talk about what you're reading when it's really like I'm trying to learn something here. So This is my copy of the Kybalion. Like I said, I wrapped it with old, like I think it was just wallpaper or something. Yeah, contact paper. No, it was a calendar, as I see it. So a calendar that an old calendar that I had. I love the as you can see the peacock here on it. Um, and I wrapped the book in it so that when I'm out in the world and I'm reading this, so this is that kind of book where you just keep reading. It's not just a one and done. In fact, I attached a permanent bookmark to the book because this is something that you study, you know. Um, you just can't, like, I think I've read the Kybalion 4 times so far, and I'll probably be reading it again, and I'm going through it again anyway. So, it's a great book. If you are ever looking for any spiritual book to start off with, I recommend the Kybalion. It's not the earliest book, but I feel like this is the book that is the most comprehensive, as in it's not attached to I mean, it is. I was about to say it's not attached to Egypt and Greece, but in a way, it is. Like it's explaining things without the history, if that makes sense. So it's explaining spiritual concepts without the history. So yeah. So this chapter, and oh yeah, I just realized somebody called me beautiful. Oh, thank you. I was like, I wasn't thinking about it. All right, sorry. All right, so this particular chapter, this is chapter 4 in the Kybalion called The All. ALL. Um, I'm going to read, I don't know if I want to read this because I also will be jumping on another live with some, well, I don't think I'll be on the live with that person, but I can go. Wow, okay. Oh, yeah, the All is a short chapter. What I'll do is read and talk, right? I'll read and talk. So that way you've read this chapter with me, right? Let me make sure I know, okay, the mental universe. Okay. I may skip over some things because sometimes things are not everything is necessary. All right, let me sit up. Ugh. All right, hello. And luckily right now my cat does not want to come sit over here. So this is my Hello Kitty blanket though. All right. Are you ready? Let's read. All right, so the All. Under the black, or I'm sorry, under the back of the universe of time, space, and change is ever to be found the substantial reality, the fundamental truth, the Kybalion. Okay? So the Kybalion also always has like a little, kind of little thing going on there. All right, so substance means that which underlies all outward manifestations, the essence, the essential reality, the thing in itself, etc. So substance just means stuff, things, and all the properties that they have. Pen, black, used to write with, substance. Okay. And then the other word, substantial, means actually existing, being the essential element, the being real, etc. So again, I see it, that it's real, right? Reality means the state of being real, or I don't know. True, enduring, valid, fixed, permanent, actual, etc. This could be deep for a lot of people. So you'd have to, before you have the discussion, you have to have the understanding of the words. You've got to know the lingo, right? In order to have the conversation. So they talk about the thing, okay? Okay, pen, substance. Then substantial, like we are in agreement that this pen is here in my hand. So that's the actuality of it, right? Really. And then the reality that we have agreed, right? The reality means the state of being real, true, enduring, valid, fixed, tapping it, you hear it, permanent, actual. So I'll just say there's a thing here in my hand. We both see it, hear it when I tap, know from whatever history that we have that this is a writing utensil. So that's how we create reality, knowing that there's a thing more than one person may have agreed upon it being there, and then it exists. Okay, I hope that was clear. All right, next. And that was only the first paragraph, but you got to go through this. All right, then under and behind all outward appearances or manifestations, there must always be a substantial reality. So basically, what I just summed up in the first chapter here, we all have to agree that this is a pen. We all have to agree that this is a black pen because we understand certain things um, in our existence, like something to hold in my hand, something that is hard, something that has a color that is black, something that we understand what writing is. Like there's so many things that we've had to have agreed upon on one upon the other until we realize when we see it, we know this is our reality because we built this whole world around this one thing. How to write, color, shape, plastic, ink, all the stuff. We made this whole little universe around this thing, and now we see it and we say it is real. Okay. And then, yeah, this is the law. And okay, this book was published in 1908, and it's always going to say the word man in it, and I'm always going to change it to the word people. Okay, so if and when you get your copy of the Kybalion, they'll say man, but I just say people. All right, people considering the universe, of which he is a unit, sees nothing but change in matter, forces, and mental states. So what they're saying, what they're saying here is we can notice a lot of the things about this pen. We can notice a lot of things about this pen, but we might not know that this pen exists. Like there's, some people who, and I hate, what I was about to say, I hate when people just assume people are mentally ill. It could be something else, So what they're saying is this is the law considering the universe, which he is a unit. We are a part of that universe. Sees nothing but change in the matter. It's solid forces. I could use it to push on some paper. And mental states. Like we needed something to communicate and write with and put messages to other people. So that whole universe we made so that we understand that this is a pen, an ink pen, a black ink pen made of plastic. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to pause for just a second, only because I feel like the camera is about to fall. And I realized I am, look, we're grown ups, I hope. And I am a little grown in the upper area. So this is what I'm gonna do. Yes. While we fix the thing. All right. Oh. So I hope it doesn't fall. Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna, yeah. All right. I'm back. All right. So this is some heavy stuff. I thought this was going to be an easy chapter. It's short for a reason because it covers a lot. And I'm glad I go back over it. So it helps. So if you have questions, first of all, I may have to walk this back a little bit. So I'm reading from a spiritual book called the Kybalion. And the Kybalion is a book that was authored by who they are calling the three initiates. We have no idea. It's like this mysterious book that just showed up, kind of thing. So, in the New Thought movement, this was where I feel like we had a chance to get into the Enlightenment also. There's a lot going on there. There was a lot, not so great things, and then there was a lot of wonderful things too. And in that time of imperialism and um, basically just out there just conquering people's countries for no good reason, a lot of times people were finding and stealing other people's artifacts, ancient ones, spiritual things. And who knows what's really missing out there, because the things that we have now in the world, we're lucky to have them, right? Like, wasn't it? It's not even been 40 years since they found the Dead Sea Scrolls, right? So we've got so much that could be out there for us, and we have no idea. So, but could have been one of those. It was like a mysterious publishing. Um, I don't know. And within it, they talk about how ancient Egypt was in Samaria, a little, not really Samaria so much, but ancient Egypt birthed a lot of the sciences that we have today in the creation of anything that is people made, right? Man made, people made. And in order for us to understand it, this book is like a manual. So that's why I say that the Kybalion is kind of like a religious book without the history. No, no, no. It's like it's a book of it's a science book, sort of, but spiritual. Yeah. I mean, because there's parts in it where it does go even, I don't know, or maybe it was a different version I was watching, reading, or listening to, but they talk about states of matter and things like that. So this is a great book for those kind of folks. But at the same time, I understand it's also very dense in that the language. I haven't even read. Look, let me shit. Hold on. I've read this book before. This is all I've read so far. All of this. And do you see how long it's taking? Yeah, because there's so much that has to be explained in order for us to really get to this. I've only read like not even 100 words, it looks like over here. And then I still have to go through the other parts. So we really, if we want to understand without all of the other layers of division, things like religion and class and race and sex, all of these things, this would be I guess, feeling like the essence of the universe, you know? Hmm. In my previous video, I talked about the Hermetic laws, and that everything, a part of, I'll just say this, a state of matter, even a solid is moving. Its atoms are moving ever so slightly that we can't tell that it's moving. It's moving. So the fact that we disintegrate, uh, things melt, so ice, that kind of thing. That is the reason how we would know solids are always changing and always moving. So this is important for the what I'm about to read here. So solids are always moving in vibration. Okay. All right. But everything is becoming and changing. Nothing stands still. Everything is being born, growing, dying. The very instant a thing reaches its height, it begins to decline. The law of rhythm is in its constant operation. There is no reality, enduring quality, fixity or sustainable. Ooh, that's a big one. Sustainability in anything. That just means it's changing. It's always going to change, no matter what. Nothing is permanent but change. I know we've heard this saying before. Nothing is permanent but change. Always change. Okay? He sees all things evolving from other things and resolving into other things. A constant action and reaction, inflow and outflow. So, this is like the breakdown of all of the Hermetic laws I had talked about before in this one paragraph. So, you've got, let me roll back. He sees all things evolving from other things and resolving into other things. A constant action and reaction, inflow and outflow, building up and tearing down, creation and destruction, birth, growth, and death. Nothing endures but change. And if he be a thinking man or person, he realizes that all these changing things must be outward appearances or manifestations of some underlying power, some substantiality, ah, substantial reality. Okay, I'm gonna let me tell you how this is. Okay, this paragraph is basically saying if you understand the Hermetic laws that we had talked about and how they all work together, spin together, meld into one in each other, in interweaving itself. It is there has to be a source, an unending source. That's basically what they're saying. There's got to be a fuel source for all of these happenings, for all of these comings and goings, growings and dyings and burning, all the things. There's got to be a cause, a spark, right? And he's about to name the spark. So the other analogy that I can think of to this would be the explanation of how the sun burns. I recently found that out because my students keep, kids ask the best questions. The best questions. They really do. So it was asked, and I probably have to look this up again, but the reason why the sun is because it's a magnet. I mean, yeah, that's the best way I can describe it. It's like it's a magnet that's, I don't know, electrified. Yeah. So it's like there's got to be the source that gets electrified. But even then, that's a start, right? But what I said before is a never ending, ever ending, never ending, never ever ever ending. All right, so all thinkers in all lands in all times have assumed the necessity for postulating the existence of this substantial, uh, su- substantial reality. All philosophies worthy of the name have been based upon this thought. So people are always asking, where did we come from? That's basically this sentence. Where did we come from? Right? And all philosophies worthy of the time that have been based upon this thought. Men have given this substantiality, reality, many names. Some have called it by the term of a deity. Now we're talking. See, this is what I'm saying. It's like there's got to be a reason why the sun rises and sets. There's got to be a reason why grass grows. There's got to be a reason why babies pass away, So all that whole thing before it leads down to where we are all right now, asking, who made us, right? Who, like, how did we all begin? Basically, men have given us like some deity, right? Some people talk about God and Jesus and all the peoples under many titles. Others have called it the infinite and eternal energy. So others have called it matter, but all have acknowledged its existence. It's all in what you call it. See, this is my version of it's all in what you call it. They give it many names. It comes in many tongues, as it were, but it is still the thing because it has a name. See, now I'm back on the Terrance Howard thing. Oh my goodness. Okay, so if these lessons have followed the example of some of the world's greatest thinkers, both ancient and modern, the Hermetic matters, and have called this underlying power the substantial reality by the Hermetic name, the all. So that's the term that I use a lot in letters when I write to people, emails and stuff. I'll say something like "Hello, all," because we're everything, y'all. So this is the juicy part that I love. Okay, so I know this was kind of hard to get through this first part. I'm sorry, but I hope that also cleared it up. But you can always go back and rewatch, please. Okay. Um, the all comes in many names: Yahweh, um, Jesus, uh, God, Zeus, Thoth, or I wouldn't say Thoth, but you know where I'm going with this, right? So it's like instead of just trying to fight over a name, So do you see what I'm saying? So this is their attempt. Whoever put this book together, is their attempt to try to push away all of the divisiveness. It's like the three Abrahamic, sorry, religions all have the same God, but three different names, but yet they're fighting. How? Why? So, like I said, this particular text is trying to find a way to make sure people can just, I don't know, um, really just understand this material without getting in the way of you, you're not one of us, basically. We're the all. So that's what they're trying to say. It's like we don't have sides. It's everything. Everything is everything. Like Lauryn Hill said, everything is everything. So the all, which term we consider the most comprehensive of many terms applied by people to that which transcends names and terms. We accept and teach the view of the great Hermetic thinkers of all times, as well as those illuminated souls who have reached higher planes of being, both of whom assert that the inner nature of the all is unknowable. This is like uh, the Tao, I believe. We can't know it because it is the spark. It is the everything. Like, there's no way for us to just be like, here it is, tied up in a little bow, a little present here. It just can't. It just can't. Right? So we just can't know it. The only way we can know it is to know that it is everything. The all. Hey. All right. And like I said, I'm looking for. Yeah, so now I'm okay. This is my nice way of. He's basically calling everybody's dumb in this. I'm not lying. I'm so serious. Um, in this particular paragraph. So what I had just said was more gentle, in that stop fighting, everybody. Let's just be all together, because we're already here. You're probably watching me from across the world. We are actually doing this. Versus, um, was but a childish effort of mortal minds to grasp the secrets of the infinite. Just calling people childish and locked up in a cage. So yeah, I'm trying to get us there. All right, so I'll skip that. Yes, baby. Come on over. All right. And still more presumptuous are those who attempt as to ascribe to the all personality, qualities, properties, characteristics, attributes of themselves, ascribing to the all the human emotions, feelings, and characteristics, even down to the pettiest qualities of mankind, such as jealousy, uh, like being susceptible, being a simp, being gullible. Okay, I had to skip through all that. To flattery and praise, described for offerings and worship, and all of the other survivals from the days of childhood of the race. So he's like, let's. Okay, we're the all. We're the all. At this point, yeah. So see, I noticed too. Well, let me skip on through this because it's basically saying that too. It's like, yeah. Okay. So at the same time, okay, maybe I'll stream through this a little bit because yeah, I want to see who might be interested in what do I talk about next in this book before I go. So I'm gonna stream through some of this. So they're saying that the all, it's like, why are we fighting? We're fabulous. We're the best. We're everything. And like, what's the point? Why? Just embrace it. We are the all, and we are glorious. You know, and it's basically just, again, just hyping itself up in these next few pages, which is great. I love it. For me, okay, I'll go through this by myself, but I feel like this part is totally like and it's an incantation of hype. Like when people do the hype, so like sporting events, you get the pep rallies and you get the hyping it ups kind of thing. It's like, this is what this feels like already. It's like I got the power. Basically, it's like this. This part is totally saying I am the all. So that self love and everything is crazy. But yeah, okay, so it's going. Oh my goodness! If I had to tell anybody how to like do rap battles, cool, like metaphysically and all, but I would say most rappers that I'm aware of, and I don't know a lot of them, they are more read, or somebody's writing for them that have read books like this. So I'm just saying, if you really want to be good, you might want to study some text like this. All right, so yeah, so this is basically the all is hyping itself. It's kicking itself up to the next level. It's like, oh, you want to see? Like, look, first I had to explain to you all of this is. You gotta know what I'm working with, right? And then it was like, now for the main event, I'm cranking myself up. Next thing you know, I'm the all. I'm the all. But anyway, so I'm just being silly. Sorry. All right. Yep. Okay. Yeah. So this chapter, the all, for me, before reading it, and as I remember, it's basically it's everything. But then now, as I'm reading this again, this time around, I'm seeing the self love, that the all produces and is ever flowing, the abundance. So people talk about being abundant and people being prosperous and all this other stuff. This is where first you must understand I am every living thing. I am the breath, the 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 whatever, all of it, you know? And now you will see my infinite all powerfulness happening before you, the good, the bad. I am the all, right? And that's basically where I'm getting that second part. And I'm like, I like that. I like it. So I might, I might turn these into something. And that's where we are now. So as I reach for my water over here, and I do see we still got some folks on. I'm gonna be ending soon, so I need to stretch. Oh, grab my water. I got my water. Um, After hearing some interpretation of the Kybalion, which is like a spiritual text, it's religion without the religion parts. Um, would you like to hear more, I guess, of so I chose the all, even though there's a chapter on mental transmutation, and I feel like a lot of people need to learn how to do this a little bit better in their life because they do it, but again, let's see. But yeah, maybe that will be the next chapter because um, we had to understand that we are of our parts. Like the all had to explain itself first before it started being fabulous again. So yeah. Okay, so I'm not sure what's going on there, but I'm going to go ahead and end. I will see you another time. It was great. It was fun. Um, Hope you learned something today. All right. Take care. Bye.